Okay, guys, we are going to continue working on practice sheet 21. So let's look at number 5. Number 5 says, what is the circumference of the circle? So over here, before we look at our formula, make sure we know what we're given. We're given the diameter. Remember, diameter goes all the way across. Okay? So we're going to go back to our formula chart. And we left off here working on our dimensional analysis. Circumference, right here, pi d. We also have 2 pi r, but this time we're given diameter. So C equals pi d. Remember pi, if we don't know it, it is on your formula chart right there. So we're going to plug in 3.14. It's not a variable, but we kind of treat it like a variable. And then we multiply by 12. Okay? This is your job. Okay? Your job is to multiply that, and that will be your circumference. And then you can come over here and put your final answer, whatever it is, inches. Okay? So if you need to pause the video, do that now. Now we're going to do number 6. Next week, you're going to do the equation by yourself. Okay? So remember, when it says write an equation, we know either y equals kx or y equals mx plus b. Okay? So we'll always start with our constant rate of change, which is always m, sometimes k. Okay? Now this one I wanted us to do together because if you notice our numbers are going down. That means our delta y is actually negative. 12 goes to 9. How does that change? By minus 3. 9 minus 3 is 6. 6 minus 3 is 3. So I'm going to put a negative 3 on top. Make sure the negative is there. And remember, if it's down, we put it up. I still have people messing that up. So this is 1, 1, 1, and that's positive, okay? So officially, our constant rate of change is negative 3 over 1, which is m. And then we're going to see if it goes through 0, 0 to see if it is k. Okay? So each time we're going back by 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Here we're actually going up by 3 each time. Okay, so make sure we're not subtracting. We subtract going this way. This way, remember, we're following the pattern. 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 3 is 9, plus 3 is 12. 12 plus 3 is 15. Guys, this is your B. It's positive, okay? And it's not 0, 0. Therefore, it is not K. And it is B because this is the number that's telling me it's not proportional, 15. So my final answer, I can put negative 3 over 1, but negative 3 divided by 1 is negative 3. So I'm going to use m as negative 3. Y equals negative 3. Don't forget the x. B is positive 15. Okay? There's your answer. Okay? So next week, I want y'all to do that one by yourself. Number 7. Sharon owns 5 1/3 acres of farmland. She grows beets on half of the land. On how many acres of land does she grow beets? Well, she grows it on half of her land. So she has 5 1/3. So what you can do is half, we know we divide by 2. Or you can say half of, which is multiply, 5 1/3. Or if you don't want to do that, you can say 5 1/3 divided by 2. That's the same thing, okay? So remember on this, we would do 2 over 1. We're going to make this improper, Texas, and then do keep, change, flip, okay? Make sure your answer is a mixed number, not a decimal, okay? Number 8, super easy. Change the percent to a decimal. You move it 2 times to the left. Number 9, solve for x. All I'm going to tell you is we know our end point is 180. So remember we add 2x plus 33 plus 92, or 2x plus 92 plus 33. It doesn't matter. And then solve for x. 10, circle the numbers that are whole numbers. So remember, whole numbers are our counting numbers, but starting at 0. Okay? So no fractions, no decimals. So circle the numbers that are whole numbers. And number 11. This says, Shay bought 9 1/6 pounds of meat for her chili cook-off. Of that amount, she decided to freeze 1.5 pounds. So she bought 9 1/6. She's going to freeze this much for another day. The rest she uses for her chili recipe. I really should have a semicolon, I guess, there. How much meat did she use for the chili? So obviously she didn't use all of this because this is how much she saved to freeze for another day. So how much is the rest? Well, we would subtract that, right? 9 1/6 minus 1 1/2. Okay? So remember when we're doing adding and subtracting fractions, we need the same size pieces. So we need a least common denominator. Okay, so our denominator for 6 and 2, if you don't know it, I know it, but if you don't know it, just make your list. 2, 4, 6. Oh, there it is. You list your multiples. 9 1/6 minus 1 1/2. I don't know why I just did that. 9 1/6. That one was already a 6, right? So I'm going to put my 6 here. So I'm changing this. Remember, we make equivalent fractions. 2 times what is 6? 2 times 3 is 6. 1 times 3 is 3. Okay? So we make equivalent fractions. 1/2 is equivalent to 3/6, and now we have our common denominator. Now, when I go to subtract, I notice I can't do 1 minus 3 on these numerators. So remember, I only have one piece. I need more pieces. So I go to the 9. I borrow 1 whole. Okay, and that whole that I borrow has 6 pieces. So now I have 1 piece plus 6 pieces, so I have 7. Or you can say 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 1 is 6 plus 1 is 7, if you want to just make it improper. Okay, so now that I've borrowed, will have enough. Okay, so 7 minus 3, denominator, 8 minus 1. And then, guys, when you see this, y'all should recognize that you need to simplify this. These are both even. This is something that I expect everybody to be able to do, is take half when they both divide by 2. So 4 divided by 2, 2, 6 divided by 2, 3, whole number, 7. So she has 7 2/3 pounds that she's using for her chili cook-off.